Hello there, this is Åsa with a new process video. And today I'm going to make a 2-page spread, and I'm going to start my travel themed series with the vacation when we went to Gran Canaria. And this page will be about the trip to the airport and, actually on the airport. And the title of the page will be the airport abbreviation of the airport where we took off, just outside my town here. I'm using papers from the Shimal Go Now Go collection, and I just love them. I have the 6x6 paper pad and the some die cuts, I think, and also a couple of puffy hearts or something like that. It's some sort of stickers. And for this page I will be using these 3 6x6 papers, and they are, I think, my favorites from this entire collection. And my goal was to use them so that they are seen. I didn't want to cover them up too much. I wanted to display them because I thought they were lovely. So I have a whole bunch of really nice photos from us sitting in the car to hubby carrying our bags into the airport. You see there's lots of snow, and then I have photos from the airport where we waited, and also photos out through the window. And I'm going to just see what I can do with all this. I've been away for quite a long time now. I haven't had really the opportunity to do voiceovers. I have been working on a completely different project, so I have been scrapbooking quite a lot anyway. I come from a really small, extended family, and I have only 2 cousins. And one of my cousins, she had a daughter 2 years ago, and I wanted to make her a scrapbooking album of the girl's first year. I did the same for her firstborn, or son, and she liked that album a lot, so I really felt that I wanted to do another album. So I asked her for photos, and it took quite some time before I got the photos. And then I just was so much into the stuff that I was working on with my coastal scrapbooking and the themes before that with Christmas and everything. And now when I didn't feel that I had the opportunity to film and make process videos, I kind of dived into this project, and I made, I think, 20 or 22 layouts with her photos, and it was just so much fun. It was something completely different. I don't scrapbook in that way when I scrapbook my own photos, and I don't scrapbook like that when I make process videos. These layouts were much simpler and much more like traditional. They are less like fancy, and lots of products, more like clean and stripped back. And it was fun to make such a project, and I also tried different kind of approaches to the girly and the baby theme, with going from the basic colors like red, blue and green and yellow and on one page, and then go completely super sweet and pink on the other one. So I tried to get the whole range, and it was very, very fun. The thing that was really different from when I scrapbook normally was that I only had single photos, and that I know that is pretty hard for me to work with only those kinds of layouts. So I had made double prints of some of the photos just to have more to work with. I made some close-up detail photos just to get more to work with, and that was also a challenge that I enjoyed a lot, just to how can I make more out of this photo. So I I took out details like baby hands and those things just to get more photos out of one photo. So yeah, I had a blast just planning that project and going through and bringing out all these like baby themes again. It was quite some time before I used those for my own kids, so it was fun and very kind of relaxing to do scrapbooking like that again. Back to the screen for a moment. I have divided the suitcase paper into small strips, and those strips I'm going to place at the bottom of these two cream colored backgrounds, just to form a foundation, like the band, you know, where the suitcases come when you arrive at your destination. I felt almost like I was creating a luggage band or luggage track with those papers, and I love how it turned out. It also became that element that travels from one page to the other, and I like that a lot. And then I'm going to divide that from the rest of the layout with black strips of papers. So I just made thin strips that I'm going to glue on top of the page, just to kind of make a divider between this very, very messy pattern paper and the photos. So that felt really necessary. This scene with the city silhouettes, I will place that as a whole on the page. I won't cut into it, and it will be pretty much undisturbed by all the other stuff. And then from the die cut packages, I got these houses that are the same style as the houses in the cityscape there, and those will go to the side of the landscape, just as a continuing piece onto the background. I also picked up some more suitcases and the taxi. We didn't drive by taxi to the airport. We were driven. My sister-in-law drove us there, but I felt like it was kind of a taxi service, so because we had help going there. We didn't take our own car, and so I thought that the little yellow taxi there on the left page, it was really appropriate there, and also the airplane, of course. And now I'm working with the airplane. This is the symbol that are on traffic signs here for the airport, and I just cut that out on the silhouette cameo and just glued it onto the background, and I felt that was a really important element also on this page. These text boards that resembles the text boards that are in the airport, for example, and in the train stations, I wanted to have that as like a sign, and I placed it just towards the edge of the both papers, so that it stretches from the left to the right, and that it becomes one unity. And I will later come back to this piece and make it more into a sign. Then I got the luggage tags from the actual suitcases that we carried with us, and I just cut into it and made a piece of that a part of the luggage tag where it says where we're going. So that is the abbreviation for Las Palmas, which is the main city on Gran Canaria. And then I used the barcode there to make a heart, and I will later come back and change that one to a more frame piece. I will place it up on black cardstock so that it gets a little bit of a frame, because I felt that it got lost there as it is placed right now. Now I'm going to create the legs for this sign, and I'm placing one of those on each side, so that it looks like the sign is standing in the background of this layout, and I felt really happy with this idea. And I have one little more detail that will bring something extra to that sign as well. It will come a little bit later. And this for an Åsa layout, I think it's pretty special, because I'm wasting 2 pages on 4 photos. That's not very characteristic for me. I would probably in any other day make this a 1-pager, but since I wanted to display the papers here with that big cityscape there, I felt that I could treat that almost like a photo, so it took up a lot of space on the page. And also I had the other papers that I wanted to be undisturbed on the page. I had a little discussion there with hubby how I would treat that right sign like pole there, and I asked him if I should tuck it behind the 6x6 paper or if I should put it on top, and he felt that if I just went the same distance from the sign as the leg on the left side, it would look best that way. And then I, just to get some kind of stop, I made it into an arrow, and I think that was a good decision. Now you see that I just framed that little luggage tag there, so that it becomes it gets some more weight. It felt a little bit floaty there with just the white on the cream. Now I think it's time for the title. And if you've been following my YouTube channel, you know that I love big bold titles, and when I place a title on my projects, I think like if I'm designing a magazine page. And you know how important the words are on a magazine page. They need to stand out in some kind of way, and that is how I make my titles. And in this particular instance, I'm going to just feel that this needs to fill this entire white space that I have left on this page. So I measured rather thoroughly how to get these 3 letters into that white space, and then I'm using thickers to spell the word airport on the opposite side. And it turned out that airport was a short word, so I got some trapped white space there anyway, but hopefully for readability that worked out anyway. And when I looked at it like this, I felt that those 2 sign legs there, it became a part of the title, and it had negative consequences on the readability. So I needed to do something, and hubby suggested that I would turn these signs more into these, like, you know, when you build something out of steel bars, you often just make them like triangles, so they would hold up better, and he suggested that I would do something like that to make it stand apart from the title. But I didn't think that it worked, because it was on both pages, and in my album it would be with the binder rings in between, and it would look really silly. But instead I decided to draw those like triangle shapes with my white pen onto the actual legs of this sign, and that little detail made those black lines stand apart quite a lot from the title. So I was really happy that I got that idea. But yeah, it's really it's really nice for me to discuss these things with hubby, because he has got really just great eye for details, and he has a completely different kind of like a different mindset on design, because he works more with three dimensions, and those ideas that he comes up with, they are often really different from my ideas, so they can kind of give a lot of outside the box thinking for my projects. And here is the finished page. There won't be any still photos after this process video, but if you take a look on my Instagram in a couple of days, you can see everything there and zoom in to see the details. I hope that you have enjoyed this process video with me, and I hope to see you soon again. Take care, this is Åsa. Bye!